What's up, guys? This is Joe from Analog Archive back with another vinyl video. In today's video, it's going to be the top 10 most valuable records in my collection according to Discogs median value. Now, anybody that is aware of Discogs and using Discogs to buy records has definitely come across or looked at the sales history that you'd see at the bottom of every page for items that are for sale. And that median value in some cases can be taken kind of seriously and can kind of reflect more of a true or more realistic value for that record. In other cases, it can be much different, more skewed, because if there's a record that is very valuable, so something that in very good plus condition sells for $150 or $200, and you see that that median price is only $85, and then you go and look in the sales history and you see that of the last 10 sales, 7 of the 10 are very good or below. So they're like good plus, maybe even potentially be like fair, and all of those records are selling for $30, $40, and maybe even lower. Okay, the more of those sales that are of those lower priced records that were for sale and sold is going to bring that price down. And again, it doesn't really reflect that true value. And it can kind of throw people off. Some people are going to be turned off if they see that the average value is $85 and a copy for sale, the lowest one, is $200. People are going to get kind of pushed away from that. So you really definitely have to look at the sales history and see what is kind of what the case is. Is it something that can be believed so that you don't pay more than what you need to? If a record is only worth $50 and the cheapest price one on Discogs is $125, and then you look at the sales history and you see that all the ones that have sold have been in the same condition as that $125 one, then you know more than likely that is not a great deal and that you're going to be overspending for that. A site that can be more realistic and has much more data to it is popsych.com. They've compiled past eBay transactions, I think for the last, I don't know if it's 10 years or so, it might even be longer than that. They've compiled all of past eBay auctions and buy it nows, and you get a more reflection of what the price would be. Okay, so that's definitely a good site to check out. But again, for this video, it's going to be the top 10 most valuable records according to Discogs. Okay, so we're going to start at the lowest and then work up to the biggest one, or the most valuable according to the price. Okay, number 10 is A Fickle Sonnets, Jackie McLean. I showed this off in my last record video with on Chris's channel, Tunes from the Man Cave, when we did the collaboration video last week. This is an original mono. Unfortunately, somebody wrote their name on the back. The median value is $107.50. Okay, so that's the median value for that one. Number 9 is Green Street, Grant Green. The median price of this is $110.79. This is also another one that I showed off in the video with Chris. This is original mono as well. The labels are super faded, but it does sound really good overall. One thing I want to point out is that even though these are the most valuable according to Discogs, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best sounding records or my favorite records that are in my collection. Okay, price can always is going to be dictated by the supply and the demand of them. If there's a record like Rumors that sold millions, tens of millions of copies, it's not going to be very difficult for you to find an original pressing of that for a reasonable price. Okay, some of these records, there is only 10,000 copies or 50,000 copies that sold or were manufactured, and especially the ones that were old, 50s and 60s, maybe even 70s, they may not have survived to this day, or at least are not in great condition. I have a lot of other records that are not worth a lot of money, and that's okay. That's not the point of collecting, at least in my opinion. It's not about the price. It's about the music, what sounds good, what you enjoy, okay? So for number 8, Work Time, Sonny Rollins. This is one that I picked up right before everything kind of closed down. This is 117.50. So real nice original mono. There's another pressing that came out, I believe, the same year that has a blue, or it's like it's a green kind of stripe. And then this is green, the W and the T are green, and same with all the other letters. Okay, so it's just kind of a slight variation. Great sounding record, great record overall. For number 7, this is a more recent one that I had picked up on Discogs, and some of them I've picked up on Discogs, other ones I've picked up from actual record stores where I live. There isn't any record stores nearby, so I really rely on Discogs and online to find a lot of these records. So this is No Room for Squares, Hank Mobley, really great record. I showed this off in one of my past videos a few videos ago. This is 123.67. It's original stereo on the Blue Note label. Real great sounding press. Great lineup. Definitely one that I would recommend because it is great. Next one I've talked about quite a bit. Number 6, New Soil. This was 132.50. Great sounding record. I talked about this in the last video with Chris as well. Jackie McLean, New Soil, his first record as a leader on Blue Note. A great sounding record all around. A great set of talent on it, and one that really showcases some earlier playing of Jackie McLean, Donald Byrd, before they kind of started to become more experienced and was able to kind of find their sound. So great record overall. For number 5, I don't think I've shown this one off, and I don't know a lot of people that I've seen that have shown this off. This is Sunday Morning, Grant Green. This was $149.99. There was a recent reissue of this. I can't remember. I believe it came out last year. I don't remember if it was a Blue Note 80th or if it was like a Music Matters or some type of recent pressing of that. Whatever way you can find it, this is a great record, great guitar-driven kind of jazz record. It has more of a kind of church, almost like gospel kind of sound to it, but it is great overall, a great sounding record. For number 4, I showed this off in my last recent finds video. This is Dippin', Hank Mobley. This was $167.48. This is one of his later Blue Notes. This is 4209. So we're getting into the mid 60s at this point. This came out in 60, I believe it was recorded in 65 and came out in 66. This was recorded before Blue Note was sold to Liberty Records, but it didn't come out until after they had. So this has, it still has New York, USA labels. It doesn't have the Liberty Records label, but it does, it doesn't have the ear or that plastilite pressing. It was at a different pressing plant. This is an original mono as well. Great sounding record. Even though, again, it's getting into the mid-60s, Hank Mobley sounds phenomenal on this. Great pairing with Lee Morgan. So great record overall. So for number 3, we've got One Flight Up, Dexter Gordon. It's original mono as well. Again, somebody put a sticker on the back. It's too bad people did that back then. But a great, great record. Dexter Gordon recorded this in France. So this is one of the few Blue Note recordings that was not done by Rudy Van Gelder in New Jersey. This was recorded in France, but it was mastered by Rudy Van Gelder. So it still has the RVG on it. Donald Byrd sounds great on this. Kenny Drew, I love him on the piano. Niels Henning, or said Peterson, was somebody I talked about in one of my past videos. Was a big Danish bass player. Was very popular on Steeplechase in the 70s when a lot of these Blue Note artists had kind of, their contract had been kind of up, or Blue Note had kind of just chosen not to keep them. So they went to Europe to try to get some more money and continue to record jazz. But this is a great, great record. I recommend anybody that enjoys jazz to really listen to this. The opening song that takes up the whole A-side, Tanya, was written by Donald Byrd. It's an 18-minute long song, and it sounds amazing. So definitely recommend this. This is a great one. I don't know if I told you the price. This is $190 for that one. We're getting to the final two. This is my most recent find, and I showed this off at the end of the video with Chris, Tunes from the Man Cave, last week. So make sure that you check that out. Great jazz video between the two of us. I talked about Blue Notes. If you enjoy jazz, definitely check that out. This is saxophone Colossus, Sonny Rollins. Very early Sonny Rollins record. This came out after the Work Time one that I had just shown a few minutes ago. But this is considered a jazz masterpiece. A great, great sounding session. Sonny Rollins was on another level when he recorded this. Some amazing, amazing songs on both sides. This is a second mono on the New Jersey labels. The original was the New York City labels. This is from 1958. The median price is $225 for this. I believe this is the only one that is shown, yes, so far that has not been on Blue Note. So great sounding recording, great album. The nice thing about this one is that because it was is considered to be one of the best jazz albums over the years, even early on, there was quite a few pressings. There was 2 pressings in the 50s, the original, and then this one, and then there was at least 2 or 3 pressings in the 60s, and that's just in the United States. There were some in the 70s, both in the United States. There may have been an early 70s press, and then it got to Japan, and of course Japan put their touch on the records to reissue them through the 80s. And then there has been even some in more recent years. So find a way to get this in whatever form, and you will not be disappointed. A great, great sounding record. And then finally, number 1. This is one that I had gotten at Christmas time last year, and one of the best records in my collection overall. Just a great selection of musicians. This is Taylor's Wailers, Art Taylor. Just the lineup on this: Donald Byrd, Jackie McLean, John Coltrane, Charlie Rouse, Ray Bryant, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, and then let me just check. And then Wendell Marshall. And then obviously Art Taylor on the drums. Just a great recording of this. This was $287.50. This is not a record that you come across every day. I had never even seen this record before actually finding it, and then being able to listen to it, I knew that it was one that I wanted in my collection. A great sounding album. John Coltrane plays on one song, and then the rest of them kind of are mixed in. There's a few that are only on that one song with Coltrane, and then the rest of them will be on the rest of the songs. But just a great, great earlier jazz recording. This came out, I believe, in 1957. Also, I was wrong. I misspoke. This is also on Prestige as well. This is the... oh, wait, no, I totally misspoke. Work Time is also on Prestige. The rest of them are on Blue Note. This is on the New York City labels, so the earlier labels for Prestige. But yes, a great sounding record overall, one that is a real staple in my collection that I come back to a lot. So those are the 10 most valuable records in my collection according to Discogs. If you enjoyed the video, please think about subscribing. Love to see the comments. And I will see you in the next vinyl video. Bye.